Hey, in this video we're going to scrape all YC companies from their directory and find their founders' contact information so you can get in touch with them. So Y Combinator, in case you haven't heard of it, is the most successful startup accelerator in the world, having supported companies like Airbnb, Stripe, Coinbase, Dropbox, and many, many more. And if you reach out to a newer YC company and manage to win them as a client, you have a pretty decent likelihood of winning them as a unicorn customer and growing with them in the long run. So let's have a look at how we can actually find all of this information. So what we're going to use to scrape this directory is a web scraper. This is a free Chrome plugin that you can install. I have installed it here already, and once you have installed it, you can click Right, Inspect to go to the Chrome Developer Tools, go to this tab here and create a new sitemap. Now, what you will notice is if you filter this directory, let's say, for example, to the batch of summer 24, the URL will change. That's great. So let's first decide which companies we want to reach out to. You can filter for many different things here. When did they join the batch, the accelerator, which industry are they in, which location are they in, and a few more. So let's say we want to reach out to summer 24 founders in the healthcare space. So these are 25 companies, should be pretty easy. Let's copy this URL, paste it down here. Let's call the sitemap YC Summer 24 and click Create. So now what we'll do is first scrape these 25 companies here. So we'll click Add New Selector, and we will want to create an element scroll down. So why? Because we want to scrape these elements here, but there's a link here, the name of the startup and a slogan and maybe more information that you want to scrape here. And all of this needs to basically be bundled together, and we'll do this in an element. And what you'll notice is when you filter for larger groups, let's say 100, only I think 40 will be shown. And then the rest will only be shown once you scroll down. So you'll want to use a scroll down element here. So let's just call this wrapper. Click select. We'll select the first one and the second one, and then automatically all of them are highlighted. So let's click done selecting, save, click into the wrapper, and now we want to collect first the name of the startup. Do that here. Done selecting, save selector. We can save as much data as we want. We maybe want to have the slogan, so we just know what they do. Save. And then we will want to save the link to the next page, because what you'll see here, you actually don't see who the founder is or any more information about the startup. So we'll select this box. There's a link behind it, and click Save. Now, if we were to run this, we would have all the information that we have on this page, but really what we want is more information. So let's click on this link here. So we can click into this first page here, and this is where we have a lot more information that we could scrape. So we already have the name, we already have the slogan. What we really need is the domain here. Let's call this website. Save. There's a lot more information that you might want to have, like when were they founded, the group partner, a longer description, if they're hiring, if they're not hiring. What we're interested in the moment are the founders here. So we'll see there's two founders here, And what we probably want is more than just their names. We might also want, for example, their LinkedIns. So we can create another element. Let's call this founder wrapper. Multiple needs to be selected here because there's two. 1, 2. And if there's a third one, the third one will already be selected here automatically. Done selecting, save selector. Let's click into the founder wrapper, and we want to have the founder name. Select, here is the name. So if you want to, you can now also save the links of the LinkedIn profiles and so on, just to save us some time. I'm not going to do that. As you see, there's a lot more information here that you could want. We'll just stick to the basics for now. So what we'll do now is, since the sitemap is finished, we'll click on scrape. Now we can say, I don't know, let's give it a little bit more time. Let Chrome scrape YC's page here. We'll give them 3 seconds between pages. Click start scraping. And what you'll see now, it's going to go through the YC directory and find all of those startup founders for us. So let's give them a second. All right, the web scraper finished scraping. Let's click on refresh. Okay, we see all of the data here. It seems to have worked fine. So what we can do now is click export data as a CSV file. And the easiest way for us to edit this is in Google Sheets. So let's open a new sheet here and click on import, upload, and just import the data that we just scraped. And we can call this YC Summer 24 Health Care. So let's make this, one thing we might have to change first is the founder name, because what I'll show you now is how to get these founders' email addresses, right? At the moment, we just have their names, but that's not going to be enough. What we'll have to do is split these into first and last names, so we can use Watson to find the email addresses. So let me introduce you to Watson. This is an email finder tool designed for cold email marketers, go-to-market pros, and B2B sales teams. And what makes it stand out? It uses waterfall enrichment. That means it's pulling from over 10 different data vendors to ensure maximum data coverage. So that means fewer missed opportunities and way more accurate contact information. Think of this tool as going for, let's say, Oscar Wilsby, and sending it to the first email finder. They don't have their email address, then it goes to the second, the third, the fourth, until it actually finds Oscar's email address, or if it hasn't found it after 10 plus email finder tools, it probably can't be found. So finding, let's say, 50 YC founders' email addresses instead of 30 means that you have a much higher likelihood of winning them as a client, especially because your competitors might not have found those extra 20 emails that you're getting with Watson. So I'd say that's a real competitive advantage. So I've already signed up to Watson here. What we'll need to do is create a list with their first name, their last name, and their company domain. Those are all things that we have now. We'll have to create a CSV file. So let's just copy the template here, which shows us how to do it. And we can see we have the company domain here, the website. So let's just copy these over. remove Bill Gates here. And what we can also see here is we have the names, but we now still need to split them into first names and last names. So let's copy these over. Sorry, to the other tab. And let's maybe give this some space, because Google is good at splitting between first and last names, but it's not amazing. So let's go to data, split text to columns, and space. Now it does do it pretty well with most of them. Let's just put all of these together in the last one. Okay, then we're good. Just two names needed to be edited. Okay, now we can download this as a CSV file and drag and drop this into Watson. So it looks like we did everything correctly. We matched the first name, the last name, the company domain. We now need to upload this file. It worked. Okay, and now we're going to click on Enrich. And now what Watson is going to do is it's going to go through all these different email finder tools one by one with each of these with these contacts and try and find their email address. So this might take a few minutes because obviously these are many API calls that need to be done in sequence. And let's check in again once it's done. All right, we're back. And this took quite a while, I think more than 10 minutes, which means that Watson had to go through quite a few different email providers to find all of these email addresses. So one email provider for most of these was probably not enough. It maybe went through 5, 6, 7 with some of them. But what we can see is amazing enrichment rate. We found 54 contacts out of the 58 that we uploaded. Let's click on download. And then we can maybe see in here what we found. Oh, sorry, doesn't work that way. Let's just click on import, upload. Replace current sheet. And here we are. So we have found most of these email addresses. So now you can reach out to all of these founders that may have already or found huge companies, possibly unicorns in the future, knowing that a lot of these founders are hard to get a hold of, meaning that their email addresses are very hard to find. But with Watson, it's possible. Thank you so much for watching this tutorial. Subscribe to the YouTube channel if you want to see future videos, and let me know what other videos you'd like to see.